F1 Racing News Script Simple version Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson will probably switch racing seats very soon, maybe even in Japan. The driver from New Zealand has been showing big problems with his racing in the first 2 races this season. People are wondering if Yuki could do a better job than his old teammate. Even though Tsunoda has been racing longer and has gotten much better since he started in 2021, could this be the biggest move of his career? And if not, what will happen to Yuki next? There's no question that Tsunoda's racing in the past couple of years has made people notice him in a good way. But when it comes to moving up to Red Bull Racing, the team always seemed to want other choices more. However, Lawson's first races have gone as badly as they could possibly go. Even with 3 times being kicked out of the Chinese race, he still didn't score any points. This is why there's going to be an emergency meeting back at the team headquarters where the Austrian team will think about switching the drivers and bringing Tsunoda in to see if he can prove he's as good as he says he is. We're talking about the urgent meeting at headquarters. Marco said this week there is a meeting at headquarters to talk about when and how we can close the gap. Until then, it's about getting as many points as we can. We're worried, but it's not like we're giving up. But then again, you can't be as bad as Lawson has been. 2 20th place finishes and 1 18th place finish on Saturday, and not even making it to the second part of qualifying in the 3 qualifying sessions we've had so far is just embarrassing. On the other hand, Max was fighting at the front and was giving everything he had to do as much damage to the other teams as possible and keep Red Bull alive in the team championship race. But to see his teammate perform as badly as he did, he couldn't stay quiet about the whole situation. When talking about Lawson possibly being faster if he's put in the sister team car compared to what he's currently doing in the main Red Bull car, Max said, "I mean, the sister team drivers are doing very well. They're very close to me. Maybe that also says something. Are we the 4th fastest team? That's how it feels to me. I think Liam Lawson would go faster in the Racing Bulls car. Our car is extremely difficult. If you look at the difference between the 2 drivers on the other teams, they're all close together. The sister team car is easier to drive than ours." I also noticed that when I talked to Liam last year, I didn't think the difference between him and Tsunoda was that big. Otherwise, the team wouldn't make the choice to put him in a Red Bull either. And this is where the big question comes up. How can someone get used to the main Red Bull car's driving style? Of course, we know the interview with Albon where he says that the car is not built specifically around Max, but he manages to control how tricky it is to the absolute maximum. But if you can't do that, you'd be losing confidence with every little mistake the car makes. Lawson himself said that the car is very difficult to drive and to understand, which explains the poor results. And while he understands that he doesn't have a lot of time to prove himself, he also said that time is the only thing that could help him in these hard times. On the other hand, the entire Formula One world jumped to the conclusion that Yuki would be a better choice than Liam, and maybe they're right. If you can put your car in 5th place in Melbourne and score 3 points in the sprint race on Saturday in China when the tire wear was literally killing all the drivers, you do deserve recognition from veterans like Marco. However, we tend to forget that this is a driver who made a lot of mistakes last year, and a driver who, while much more grown up compared to the past, still has the occasional angry outburst that hurts his performance. Nevertheless, Yuki feels more than ready to take over the challenge of competing in a Red Bull. When being asked about whether or not he feels like he's ready to jump in the main Red Bull car as early as in Japan, which is 2 weeks from now, has gone on to say, "Yeah, why not? I'm always ready. Japan, yeah, 100%. I mean, the car is faster." When Yuki said this, a PR person from his team pulled him aside, which suggests that this is a very sensitive topic and shouldn't be talked about publicly. But the race results are not something that you can hide. The only reason why Tsunoda has just 3 points this season is because of the terrible strategy that his team used in the past couple of races. Before that, he was able to finish in the points, and quite honestly, he was close to Max in terms of positions on the track. This is exactly what Red Bull needs with their second driver. So obviously they have to understand that maybe they're looking in the wrong direction when it comes to promoting a driver for that second seat. Team boss Marco has been full of praise for the improvement that Tsunoda has made in the past couple of months. When talking about it more, the veteran Austrian couldn't hide how happy he was with the jump that the Japanese driver has managed to reach. Going into more detail about this, Marco said Yuki changed his management and has been performing absolutely perfectly so far. He's in the best form of his life and he's made another huge leap this year. Yuki is a different Yuki from the years before. He's more mature. It took a while, but now it looks like it's working. The situation is very clear and easy to understand. Lawson was promoted over Tsunoda because of the unexplored potential he had in himself, and also because of the various experience he's had in other racing categories. The team believed that they could use his Super Formula and DTM experience in getting a lot of performance out of the car. Even though Lawson has won 6-0 in the direct battles in qualifying with Tsunoda last year, and is 8-0 in total since he's been a full-time Formula One driver, there's no doubt Red Bull has given Tsunoda the cold shoulder throughout the past couple of years. This was mostly because he's been connected to Honda and the partnership between these two has broken down. but now they might be forced into a move that they didn't think could happen so early. After all, tough questions were asked from Ted Kravitz, who basically asked Horner what we all want to ask the team principal of Red Bull. Is Lawson the wrong choice? In a direct interview with Christian, Kravitz has gone on to ask, but you need Lawson to score the team championship points. You didn't pay off Perez for this, did you? I mean, the point was to replace Perez with a quicker driver, and is he just not a quicker driver? The response from Horner was not satisfactory at all, and we could see that he felt a lot of discomfort when talking to Kravitz about it. Horner said, as I said, we'll have a good look at it, and we'll do what we can tomorrow. And this is a big bridge between Tsunoda and Red Bull as well. If he doesn't get the seat right now, there is a huge chance that he will look at a seat in Cadillac from 2026 onwards. Honda has kind of given up on Tsunoda's future in terms of being required to secure him a seat, which put a lot of pressure on his potential move to Aston Martin. Therefore, Tsunoda now knows better than everyone else that if this move with Red Bull fails to work, and if he doesn't get the opportunity he feels he deserves, then his career could be put at risk. It's the same pressure that Lawson felt from the first race, and he did say in one of our videos that a poor start of the season doesn't automatically mean you're a bad driver, but it puts you in bad confidence for the upcoming races as well. We can see that Gasly bounced back, and he, similar to Tsunoda, suffered from a poor strategy from the Alpine team. On the other hand, Lawson has only gotten worse from Melbourne onwards. And maybe it's the car's drivability, or more precisely the ability of the driver to get used to it, that is costing him the future in Red Bull. Nevertheless, a big talking point is ahead of us. With Tsunoda being a more than obvious candidate to replace Lawson, he would have to make sure to not follow in the footsteps of Lawson and fall into the same downward spiral as his colleague. The car is very difficult to drive, but Max is struggling to get the maximum performance out of it. And the way we see it is that Tsunoda will either be close to Max, or he will suffer from the same fate as Liam. The greater pressure is that while he will apply for a Cadillac seat, that is not guaranteed at all, as there are tons of other candidates next to him that would love to have a chance at the American team. With all of this in mind, do you think the replacement for Lawson is Tsunoda? And if so, do you think that the Japanese driver will prove that he's worthy of that Red Bull seat? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that's appearing on screen right now.